1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Welcome back to the Racial Draft Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Ford, joined by my co-host, Kia Lisi herself.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And we're also joined by illustrious guests from the Latinx delegation, the adorable one himself, Martine.
How's it going, everybody? It's me again.
Aww.
And from the Black delegation, a little bit less adorable, but still awesome, Randy.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess. Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Less adorable Randy. What's up?
And knowing Kia, that's like gonna be my nickname forever. She's gonna pick that
How'd you know?
So we are here to talk about the third round of the racial draft. Overall, Kia, what were your thoughts of how the third round went down?
I thought it was glorious.
I'm gonna guess there's one particular reason why you found it glorious.
Yes, because people slept, especially the Asian team. Thank you, Ron and Ron. And and for the second year in a row, though I am an observer with absolutely no personal interest in the matter, multiracial team got Wonder Woman again. Ha! Caca! That's how dinosaurs and dragons sound. Caca!
And I feel like it's fitting that Wonder Woman went to the multiracial team in light of the movie's clear nod to multiracialism. Yeah, that's right. Wonder Woman came out this week, and many thoughts are had. But we will share that in a future episode. Stay tuned, maybe for our Patreons. But overall, obviously the different delegations that are represented here had strong showings. Martine, what were your thoughts about the third round overall, not including your pick?
I think it was very good. It's always a good round when I have to cross off a bunch of names off of our list of potential picks that we might think about. So it's always a good round when that happens. But it's also very interesting with one very out of left field pick that we're going to get talk about a little later, and then one pick that's just
the Crow.
No, but it's the same delegation.
Yes.
And then another pick that deserves its very low approval rating.
Yes, Scorn. Yeah, stay tuned for the Scorn. What about you, Randy? What were your thoughts about the round overall?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just want to echo those same sentiments. Like, you could sort of see basically the majority of like the picks. You can kind of envision like, oh well, that would be I would be interested to see the backstory for that new version of the character, and proud of myself for my own pick this round, and so I'm kind of interested to see how those picks turn out.
Sure, and let's dive right in. I mean, right off the bat, we had a really good pick in Peter Parker for the East Southeast Asian delegation. That's going to be a mouthful, so I'll just say East Asian for now. The East Asian delegation drafted Peter Parker. Peter Park, I think, was what Ron was saying. So my guess is that he's going to be Korean American. And I for a while had thought that Stephen Yeun would be a good casting if they ever wanted to have an Asian American Peter Parker. Unfortunately, Ron being Ron, not coming on the show, did not deliver a backstory. So we are to make up a backstory for Asian American Peter Parker. With great power comes great responsibility, but no appearances on the show. But what are your thoughts about Asian Peter Parker, Kia?
I'm okay. with that. I mean, I'm really okay because Ron missed it. Ron missed it. Thank you for not paying attention to the Rachel draft there, buddy.
I mean, putting aside the points aspect of it, I do actually think it's a good fit, though. You know, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there are definitely a lot of Asian Americans in Queens. Peter is good in math and science, and I know that's a stereotype, but I
Do
mean,
math. Do
if the shoe
math.
if the shoe fits, the shoe fits, right? Especially if we're talking about classic Peter Parker, he who's getting kind of bullied. Um, there might be a little bit of that could play out in terms of stereotypes. And then there's Peter's in good shape, but he's not necessarily buff. So, there's
Wow, are you saying that's another stereotype? Whoa.
I'm just
Whoa.
saying that, a like like in shape cut dude. Like there's
You
probably
haven't seen one from the South Asian delegation ever? Is that what you're saying?
I'm
What?
just saying they'd be able, it wouldn't be hard to believe that
That they
underneath
have no muscle? What?
I mean, look, he doesn't have a beach
Make it
body.
as awkward as possible.
Look, he doesn't have a beach body. He doesn't have
Oh, so now they don't look good on the beach either. Oh.
he's in good shape, damn it. He's swinging around, he's flipping, he's doing acrobatics.
Well, I do think it is a good fit in that he could be in good shape and all of that stuff, but he's not like the kind of person who like shows off
Hmm.
how good looking he is. He's not like a pretty boy or something like that. So like he could still be, fit and all that stuff, but not really too particular. Like he's still kind of unassuming, even though you kind of look at, oh yeah, he's fit, but he's not like really super,
Right,
out there.
that's what I was
Wow, less
getting at,
adorable.
Randy.
Randy said something right. Oh. He can just make fun of people instead. Okay, I'm weak. Okay, all right, go.
But
Martine, do you have anything to say?
I mean, I really liked it. Because I could also see being Peter Parker being Asian, because that's obviously like one of the it's like East Asian, because that's one of the things that anyone can be Spider-Man, and
true.
I can agree on some level that because I've seen a lot of because like I've been on Twitter and there's a lot of K-pop fans on there,
Hmm.
and you see a lot of like they're like really good, like in good shape, but with the clothes that they put them in, you wouldn't
Right.
necessarily see it a lot.
Exactly. You would never
Yeah.
guess that underneath that
Especially,
you're like, yeah.
and then because he's supposed to be hiding it, he's supposed to be hiding the fact that he can't be like this little scrawny nerd that gets picked on one day and then the next day be showing up in like these really really tight like fucking like fucking shirts and tank tops and shit and being like flexing on everybody. He needs to continuously wear probably like baggier kind of clothing that still fits. It's not like it's gonna be like easily
Yeah.
removable. So like yeah, I
Wow,
can
well
see
said
it.
again, Martine. The only person that didn't say anything right was our host. Wow.
This podcast is sponsored by tequila. Thank you very much. you may get a lot of misstatements on this side of things, but yeah, I mean, but I think everyone's kind of on point as far as that issue. I think it would be great to hear Ron's perspective. Ron, you're always welcome on the show, even if it's just for 5 minutes while you're trying to hide from your family. Um, we are an anti-family podcast here on the Racial Draft. And of course that brings us to the second pick. Oh, wait, sorry. Before that, I need to, do all the pageantry. As far as the approval rating, the approval rating there was 88.9%. That would be 61.1% strongly approved, 27.8% somewhat approve, 5.6% somewhat disapprove, and 5.6% somewhat disapprove. I mean, sorry, strongly disapprove. And so yeah,
And
the
I'll be
people.
honest, I think that was the only team in which I actually truly approved their pick.
Wow, the bias,
Honestly.
the bias. And as always, even though we should all know his origin, I may as well read from the wiki. As a result of a radioactive spider bite, high school student Peter Parker developed powers and special abilities similar to that of a spider. After Peter's selfishness indirectly resulted in the death of his beloved Uncle Ben, Peter decided to live up to the motto that with great power, there must also come great responsibility, and thus became the superhero known as Spider-Man. There you go. Everybody knows the origin.
Squash the
And
spider.
that brings us to our next pick from the multiracial delegation.
Hey, anybody want to do a drum roll?
No.
No,
No.
are you sure? I'm just
No.
double checking.
Wonder Woman was chosen by the multiracial delegation, and I believe, according
How
to
did they get
Shep,
that?
she is going to be black and Mexican. But Shep also didn't submit a backstory. However, from the
Did he
wiki,
need one? Did he need one?
I mean, backstories are always welcome.
Points.
Wonder Woman is the Princess Diana, the daughter of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, and Zeus, the mightiest of the gods of Olympus. Diana volunteered to leave behind her home, Themyscira, and champion the Amazons' message of peace, fighting for justice and equality in man's world. She's a founding member of the Justice League. As Kia continually mentions, she will be scoring quite a bit of points. She has a big movie that's out right now, so she won't be scoring points for a movie. But she has a bunch of books.
Not that she should.
Shade. Yeah, you know, she was, I think, the top scorer in the Fantasy Comics League during our scoring period last year.
I think it was Batman, actually.
It was.
I think it was
It's always Batman.
Actually, no. Batman had a few weeks where he was not the top scorer.
Yeah, I know for the entire year Batman was up there, but I think during our 8-week period, I think Wonder Woman was still up on top. You know,
That's
she had a
right.
couple.
He's
She had
up
a
on
couple.
top. Wink, wink.
So shout out to the commenters on Twitter, including Immortal Beloved, who said, "Sweet tits. Wonder what race she'll be." You know.
And that's Mike's
I
faux Twitter page.
The comments before you read them out.
What did you say?
I see you didn't vet any of the comments before you just like read them. Shout out.
I mean, sometimes you don't have to
Definitely
vet
the
a
80s.
comment. You just have to, you know, let the people's voice be heard.
80s themed.
Speaking of not vetting the comments, the third pick. The third
Oh,
pick.
we really didn't talk
Oh, wait,
about
what was
Wonder
their
Woman.
approval rating?
I said the approval rating.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, I'll say it again though. I'll say it
Oh,
again.
sorry, I was too busy loading. Did you hear it, Martine?
No, and this is the thing, because this is something I want to talk about. Michael, you said she's got a lot of books. She doesn't actually have a lot of appearances in March at all. Like out of the 39 books that they're going to come out with, she's only going to show up in 3 of them. Infinite Frontier, the one shot, which also has a bunch of other people, her digital first series, and her solo series. So she's showing up in less stuff now than she was last season because she's no longer in Justice League. She's no longer in Justice League Dark. That's not starting up in March either. So she's not going to be.
But she's got a second. No, but she's got a second digital book that she's launching.
Right.
No, it's just Sensational Wonder Woman and then her Wonder Woman series. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
It's just
So they're ending her current digital first book, which is Wonder Woman Agent of Peace.
Yeah, there's no solicitation for it in March at all. So it's just Infinite Frontier, Sensational Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman. So it's just
over the course of what, 8 weeks that we do the actual scoring part.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's only for the month of March. So for half of it, she's only going to show up 3 times.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how that plays out. You know, that does bode well for.
Martine's just trying to put her down because he didn't get her on a team, but he actually he did block a team, so they didn't get her. So I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, it's still.
And you guys are right. I I did not read the approval rating. I see that now. The approval rating for Wonder Woman was
Co-host.
80 was 86.6%.
Yeah.
Um, 86 with rounding, 86.6. There was no there was 66.7% strongly approved, 19% somewhat approved, 0% somewhat disapprove, and 14.3% strongly disapprove. Was that
Oh,
all?
haters.
Was that all from the Latinx delegation, Martine?
No, it could have also
I
been from the
can't
Jewish
like
delegation.
confirm nor deny that.
All right. Well, I think this. I thought she was a great pick for the multiracial delegation in season one, and I think she'll be a great pick for the multiracial delegation in season two. And hopefully, at some point, we'll get a backstory for her. That would be great.
Martine, don't say shit. Don't say shit, Martine.
What?
Martine had a lot to say about backstories. No, I don't help with backstories.
I know. Like
But
Chef
I
said
just
that
gave you
maybe
one.
he'll get you to
Point.
help him, and that made me laugh because you don't help with backstories at all.
Don't you?
Let's-
I
let's
literally,
talk about-
dropped my phone when I read that. I was like, he knows me.
Let's talk about the black delegation's choice. I for one was hoping that the black delegation would make a run, a return run at the Red Hood.
Mhm.
Don't
Yeah.
mention the
But
other. He who shall not be named.
they went a different direction. They went with Dick,
Black dick.
Black Dick,
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Grayson himself,
Change around with
aka
the-
Nightwing, the former Robin, he of the sticks, and
Lord of the Sticks.
he's known for swinging his sticks, and he's known for having a nice ass.
Mm.
That would be Dick Grayson. Let me go ahead and read from the wiki. Richard John Dick Grayson is the adopted son of Bruce Wayne, better known as the vigilante Batman. Trained by the Dark Knight himself, Grayson eventually became Batman's sidekick, the first Robin. After Grayson outgrew his role as Batman's sidekick, he graduated to the role of Nightwing, donning a new costume and later temporarily worked as Batman himself. However, after his secret identity was exposed, Grayson worked undercover as a spy for Spiral, taking the code name Agent 37 before returning to his role as Nightwing once again. We're not going to talk about the whole Rick Grayson fiasco, but that was a thing too. And there you have it, Black Dick. The whole
And
world.
Miss John.
So tell us about Black Dick, Randy.
Yeah, tell us all about it in detail.
Well, I mean, basically, I'm not really quite sure how it would differ too much from his actual origin. I could just
Oh, so
kinda-
he was born with the black dick? He didn't grow.
Well, I mean, I feel like his the only thing that maybe could possibly diverge is that maybe his parents wouldn't be Romani, because I don't really know if there are any like black Romani people, but
No, he's black. He's black. You claimed him. He's black.
Yeah,
The Flying
exactly.
Graysons are
Exactly.
black.
exactly. So I don't really feel like you could diverge too much away from that and be like, oh, well, he's still Romani. Like, no,
Nope.
he's black. So,
No, he's a
So-
black.
So
Black. Not gonna
were
be
they the
black one.
first black trapeze artists, or the only black trapeze artists? Like, what are we? Where are we at?
probably both, because usually
Because the
black
dick
people
usually weighs
don't
you down.
go for I mean, but you don't really think of like black people doing kind of daredevil-y type
Can you
stuff.
imagine all that meat swinging in the air?
I can't imagine it, and I have imagined it. Thank you very much.
I feel like that put a drag on the aerodynamics of it. You know.
Oh, we missed him by like 5 inches.
It's all about the physics of the swing. Okay, so
Is there a helicopter involved? Is this what we're talking about? Is there a helicoptering?
No,
No.
but I feel like he's been like all kind of like athletic type of roles, and like being Nightwing and being Robin, and he's the trapeze artist thing. He's also been a stripper at some point. So I'm like, okay, why not? Why can't he be black? I mean, I feel like he's already sexualized enough. Why not? And
Right.
also is like trained by some of the best fighters in the world. So
Yes.
cool. Let's
But I do have something to say though. Couple things, couple notes. One, Dick Grayson does become a cop.
Ah, true.
That's not good. Also, the angst of I don't want to be like you, Dad. You want to be Batman, but I want to go my own way. That's a little angsty, little
True.
not black.
This, this is this is true. But what I will say is that a lot of black adoptees
Hmm.
possibly could, like, you
Okay,
know,
fair enough.
they
Now,
kind of wanted to assimilate into the world of like fitting in and stuff like that. So maybe they could, kind of entwine that into his background as well.
and one more thing. Complexion wise, is he dark skinned or is he light skinned?
Say he's light skinned. He's reggae. Something Gene Page or whatever.
I,
I
well, it's sort of difficult to say because I would want to be like, okay, well, he everybody kind of looks at him like, oh, he's the pretty boy or whatever. But
Wait,
I
dark skinned people can't be pretty boys?
no, but that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like as much as I want to kind of give the impression of like somebody looking at him and kind of thinking of him in terms of being a pretty boy. I know that dark skinned people don't usually kind of get that favor. They don't really get that sort of like,
The guy that played Luke Cage gets that all day.
but even somebody who is like a Mr. Terrific or a John Stewart or Black Lightning or whoever, like we've seen them be depicted before as like really handsome black guys, but they
Yeah,
don't really get, I don't know, they don't really get the kind of attention that Nightwing usually gets. It's like being really attractive. Oh, he's really attractive. Anytime you talk about like really attractive DC heroes, you don't really hear them come up first in conversation.
that's
So
fair. I mean, I think that sometimes, obviously, with the stereotypes of light skin versus dark skinned, there's often an association with softness
right.
that's associated with being light skinned.
Well,
Um,
he could be Idris Elba, and he'll be definitely seen as all that.
yeah, but Idris Elba's, he's like in his 40s. Dick
Right.
Grayson's a younger man. I like
Who
your
does?
I
Who
like your
cares?
casting though. Kia cast Reggie Jean Page, who can be seen now in Bridgerton. Um,
Oh my God, he was actually like, and he also could be seen For the People. I think that only had like one season, but I watched it and he was a really hot lawyer there. But now I really like him because he was over there swinging his dick in Bridgerton. Oh,
oh, so there you go. They're swinging Dick.
yeah, he was. Oh,
Um,
he was giving the dick everywhere. He was like, "Oh, I'm a duke. This is what I do, teaching girls about the dick."
And that's
So
another
it all makes
direction that
sense.
you could go with the Flying Graysons. The Flying Graysons could be, not from America, right? They could be, so Regis Jean Page is British Zimbabwean,
Hmm.
and if they're international trapeze artists, maybe the fact that they are from, not from the U.S. might kind of animate their why they're, carnies, if you will, and
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was trying. I was like, okay, well, I don't really know anything about Carney, that kind of culture of like being a traveling performer. I don't really know about reminding people. So I didn't want to try to play too much into too many like harmful stereotypes.
yeah, of
So I just
course.
was like, I would prefer to just kind of leave it up to the imagination of people who are like, you know, better informed on that rather than try to, hazard a guess.
Gotcha. But yeah,
I
I could
think you should
see.
go for it.
Yeah, I could see him being, a sort of African immigrant. Therefore, when he's orphaned, it really does seem more believable
Yeah.
that the Waynes would well, what's it, Diaz, Bruno Diaz would
Yeah.
would take him in, and and if he does have the same complexion as Regé Jean Page, people wouldn't necessarily see Puerto Rican and a light skinned black dude together, they would think they could still be related.
Mhm.
Um, so, all right, okay, well, Fine, you've won. You've convinced me that Black Dick is worth considering.
You just smacked him upside the head with the black dick, and now he accepts it.
But all right, yeah, I mean, and as we know, as far as FCL is concerned, he's going to get a lot of appearances. There's going to be a lot of Black Dick sightings, or rather, regular Dick sightings. But
Made a Lord smite me with that, and I never recovered.
but yeah, I mean, he's, if not the most popular Robin, he's one of the most popular Robins. He's got a new series. Who's writing that series? Is it Tom Taylor? Who's writing the new series?
Tom Taylor's
I
writing
believe
his
so,
new
yeah.
series, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, Sean got all excited about it last week.
yeah, Tom Taylor's a
Yeah.
great writer, so I'm looking forward to that. And I suppose we can dive into the approval rating for that. The approval rating for Black Dick is understandably high. 82.5% approval, with 62.5 strongly approved, 20% somewhat approved, 5% somewhat disapprove, and 12.5% strongly disapprove. I can't believe it.
That disapproval rating is like, it's higher than the percentage of black people in America. So that is just, it's anti-black. I feel like
Well, I want to say that I disapproved.
You disapproved of
why would
Wait,
you
She wants to
disapprove?
say.
But Randy knows why.
Hmm.
No, what? What? No, I don't. What?
Yeah, you do. I don't know where this is going, but I'm gonna play along. Randy
Well.
knows why.
Well, the comments on Twitter were a lot of dick jokes. So enjoy the dick jokes,
As expected.
of course.
Yeah.
And that brings us. Wait, sorry. Do you guys have any additional thoughts about Dick Grayson for the Black
Do
delegation?
you really think this is round 3, right?
This is
So
the third round.
do you
Yeah.
think that? Do you feel as though he was a real good pick for round 3, or could there have been a better pick for round 3?
I don't have access to FCL points, but he was a pretty strong FCL scorer, and I think he's gonna show up in a lot of books. He's also gonna show up in the Titans books. He's got 4 books according
Yeah.
to.
He's going to be in Teen Titans Academy.
Mhm.
He's going to be in his own solo series. He's
Yep.
going to make appearances in Batman, and he's also going to show up in Infinite Frontier, I believe. Oh wait, and he's also going to be in that one first Justice League book. So that's going to be 5 appearances, at least in the month of March alone.
Right. Not to mention maybe Detective Comics and the
Yeah.
Batman digital first books,
Yeah.
Pops up in those kind
Anything
of
like
things.
any Batman related stuff, he could just show up, but it's at least those like 5 guaranteed.
Yeah. And I mean, frankly, we picked him because he just kind of had his grand reemergence as Nightwing. So like, people have been really, really invested in him as a character, and so now that he's like back as being not Rick Grayson,
Mhm.
everybody's really happy to kind of they're leaning into having him appear more. So
Right.
I kind of figured even before they announced this stuff, yeah, we're gonna probably end up seeing him more often.
And one more thing, do you guys know when the next season of Titans is coming back?
Not until late 2021, like
Okay.
mid to
That's
late
exactly
2021.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Gosh, you beat me to it.
Okay, so he won't be scoring any points in the Titans
No,
book.
I looked that up because we had like a 9-person like list of top 9. He was number 4, so I had to look up to see. All right, when's Titans coming back? Oh, not until much later. Well, shit. All right, he's still in there though.
All right.
Yeah.
That
Who
brings
else is on your list, Martine?
Hmm?
Who
Who
else
else
is
was
on
on
your
the
list?
list? Everyone that went before us.
nice, well played. So the fourth pick of round 3, another stellar pick for the Polynesian delegation, I must say. Tony Stark, who was, I believe Tony Stark, was he not a first round pick in season
Second.
1? Second round pick. So in
Yeah.
season 2, he's a third round pick in season 2. Gotta
Yep.
not transpose those numbers. Tony Stark Iron Man. Uh, let's go to the Iron Man wiki and let's see what they're saying about him. Anthony Edward Stark, also known by his name as Tony Stark, is a superhero and Avenger from Earth 616. After suffering a severe heart injury and being kidnapped, was forced to build a devastating weapon for his kidnappers. He instead created a suit of power armor to save his life and help protect the world as Iron Man. And
I think he should be cast by Tomati himself. Like I feel like this is Iron Man and Tomati are like one and the same.
you know, I wouldn't have been mad at that. But Tamati actually did have a backstory for him, and I suppose I'll jump into the new backstory right now. Oh, damn it. Tamati sent me a pronunciation guide, and I forgot to
Oh,
listen to
don't
it.
do it. I like it when you mess it up.
I am going to try to
Isn't it part of
listen.
it? He keeps on saying Kia Orta something something something. Like why does he keep saying my name? Tomati. I think he's
Let's
talking shit about me every single time he says Kia.
let's see if I can find a pronunciation guide to help me not make a fool out of myself.
Oh, you're gonna still mess it up.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Look at him pretending to find it. Oh, there it is. Now he's gonna still fucking all up.
Yeah, pretty much. Because, like I said, he didn't send me uh, phonetic notes. He actually just sent me his voice saying it, which
To soothe you.
exactly. All right. Well,
Here's
I'm
my
gonna
voice.
try. I'm gonna try my own way. Sorry, sorry,
It's gonna be
Tamati.
beautiful. I can't wait.
So our buddy Tamati from the Polynesian delegation gave us a backstory. We are ocean people. We are comrades. Anyone now who is native is fighting back innocent insurgency. The whole ocean area needs to be liberated. Haunani Kaitrast. Tony Stark is a descendant of industrious Jansen Stark, who funded the overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy in 1893. Jansen Stark married a Hawaiian alai by the name of Maluila Kalakua. This makes Tony Kanaka Maioli, true native people of Hawaii. Over 5 generations, the Stark family built their wealth on land investments, owning much of Hawaii, science and military tech for the U.S. They're one of the richest families in the world. Tony Stark, a genius, inherited the family business. He seeded the most advanced military tech all over the world. His life changed when the testing of new military weapons on the island of Kalawai went disastrously. Tony was caught in a blast, which knocked him into a coma. A piece of shrapnel lodged in his heart. During his coma, his ancestor Maluha visited him and told him to take the path of Ie, independence, and Kuleana, responsibility to his people. When he awoke, he had changed. He developed tech to keep the shrapnel from his heart. He returned the lands of Hawaii back to Kanaka, provided health, education, and employment. This eased the crippling homelessness problems for Kanaka in the kingdom. He developed the Kanaka Homecoming Fund. This was to reach out to the Hawaiian diaspora to provide homes and support to come back to Hawaii. Outside of Hawaii, he used his resources and tech to protect and unite the people of Polynesia. His greatest tech masterpiece was the creation of the Iron Man suit, developed to defend, protect, and keep the peace. He wanted to build a team to protect and prevent future threats. He monitored superpowered people in Antaroa, fighting and beating giants. These were potential allies. He set on his new path to defend and protect the world. Tony Kalaua, peace. Stark. Iron Man.
That
So,
was beautiful. Wait, real quick though. So, is he saying that Tony Stark was Hawaiian?
Hawaiian Man. Hawaiian
Wait,
Man.
are Hawaiians Polynesian?
Hawaiian man.
Um, yeah, I mean
I'm
they
kind
are
of confused.
I would
Like,
say
native
I would
Hawaiians.
say the only thing that I will say that kind of feels out of place is Tony like being a good guy and like trying to defend the people and all this other stuff.
yeah, like did he just
kinda-
try to make it Polynesia by saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, he defended those people"?
I mean,
Because
saying,
I kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't want to object, but I might have to.
that is
Like, I don't know.
I
Like, is
don't
there
know.
something? Are Hawaiians Polynesians? Is this a thing? Did I not know this? This is a fun fact.
Well, Hawaii are Polynesian, but the thing is, I don't really. I feel like it almost kind of he. I don't know. I guess his version of Iron Man is like more morally good than the Iron Man that I'm used
Right,
to.
right.
So
But
it kind of threw me off.
yeah, I would agree with that. I think you can only stretch the characterization so far. I think he's still gonna have to be Tony. He's
Didn't
gonna
he
have.
just kind of take over a whole nother people? I'm really confused about this. Nobody is answering my question.
No, we
Are-
said Native Hawaiians are Polynesian. Yes.
Yeah, Hawaii
Are
is the
you?
northernmost island group in Polynesia and can be rightfully referred to as a Polynesian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he Googled that. Okay. Or maybe he knew that because he does speak 4 languages. Amity, shout out.
He's
What's
not,
up?
he's not. He's not like just a white guy who was born in Hawaii. He's
No,
like
no, no.
he's
He is.
actually
Yeah.
Polynesian.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. He is actually Native Hawaiian. But I think just
Okay,
being
all
I
right.
think just being Native Hawaiian doesn't mean that he can't still be the asshole Tony Stark that we all know and love. You
I
know.
mean, yeah, I know a lot of Hawaiians that are assholes, you know?
Yeah. So
I mean,
In
I'd be an
addition-
asshole too. I live in
Yeah.
paradise. You don't. That
listen,
kind of
this
thing.
is just Tony Stark's PR team. Touting all the good. Tamati just works for Tony Stark PR. But I think that all the women that he's like that he smashed and disrespected along the way might have other stories. They might feel
I mean,
differently.
how does he get along with the heavy military presence down there in Hawaii?
Well, that's where he's providing his weapons.
Oh.
You see, that's how his family got all that money.
Okay. Well, maybe he's not quite the good guy I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Listen, it
Rich
works.
down there.
It
Fuck
works.
those
It
guys.
works. And couldn't you imagine this Stark having a really nice house out in Hawaii?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I'm here for it. I'm definitely here. Now, what I'm not here for, if I'm being honest, Tamati gave us a fan casting, and I'm giving the thumbs down on the fan casting. MMA fighter Kendall Grove, who is, as I
That
understand it,
makes no sense.
not a trained actor.
But that also makes no sense. Like the Tony Stark he was writing about is like a good guy, and then you pick an MMA fighter.
Yeah, Tony Stark can't fight.
Like,
This guy doesn't
Like,
even have.
he has
This guy doesn't even
gadgets
have
for
a
that.
beard. This guy doesn't even have a beard. I tried to Google Kendall Grove beard, and it got no responses. Kendall Grove, like you can't even. If you gotta do a fan cast of someone who can grow the Tony Stark facial hair. So, thumbs down on that.
He's I'm googling some images and
Exactly. That's how I felt. Do better, Tamati, on this fan casting. Take lessons from Martine on the fan casting. But I'm sure if I Googled Hawaiian Tony Stark, I'd get a lot of
Rock.
Hawaiian dudes. I get He's not Hawaiian. He's not Hawaiian, Kia.
I know you would get what's his name? The other guy that played Aquaman.
oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That's
Not-
true.
Oh no, not Jason Momoa as Tony Stark. Dude.
That is the worst.
Oh man, but you know what I didn't say? I didn't say the approval rating, and the results could surprise you. The approval rating here was 83.4%. That's 41.7 strongly approve, 41.7 somewhat approve, 0% somewhat disapprove, and 16.7 strongly disapprove. That's kind of high on a strongly disapprove, I gotta say. I would have
I
thought.
think I was the first one to say strongly disapprove.
Wow, you're right out there. You're just being a hater, Kia. I mean,
Mm.
between Iron Man, Thor, and Storm, it's
What was
very
that one?
Storm. Very, very strong picks for the Polynesian
I know.
delegation.
Polynesian team came to play.
They came to play,
Hmm.
and I respect it. I respect when a delegation that finished last place, that's right, last place, in,
Keep on saying. Say it one more
in
time. Say it one more time.
last place in season one decides, I don't have to be a last place delegation. I can come to play, and hopefully
And bring the stories. And
the
be.
delegation that finishes last place this time out, who might that be? Will
We all have a
Ooh,
good
will
can I
bring
idea.
predict it? I think
will
it's the
bring the
Jewish team.
drama. Ooh, oh.
Oh,
Um,
look at Martin's face. He's like, "Don't do it to yourself." You heard that, Adam? I think you're gonna be in last place. What's up?
so I think it's going to be interesting
something.
to have
I'm giving up on
Hawaiian
you.
Tony Stark, interacting with Korean Peter Parker. That ought to be interesting.
Hmm.
I do believe there are a lot of Koreans in Hawaii.
Are there?
Fair amount. Fair amount.
Hmm.
That brings us to the fifth pick, the Latinx delegation. Staying in Gotham. Staying in Gotham.
Boo.
Drafting Catwoman in the third round.
Boo.
Selena Kyle.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Boo.
Martine, I'll let you tell the story.
Okay.
Well, first round, Kia picked Catwoman, so I decided to pick a Batwoman. The end. But go ahead, continue.
It's not all about you, Kia.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say, but he pretty much wants my whole team. Just saying.
Actually, quickly, before you tell the backstory, just give us a little bit of your thought process, behind the pick.
Okay. So, much like with a lot of the other things, I've already looked at what's coming out in March.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know, and like I know like she on average is like about 6 points in appearance,
Mhm.
more or less. So she's showing up in Infinite Frontier again, Batman, Catwoman, and Batman. At least like those four like guaranteed. And who
Mhm.
knows about any of the other stuff. So if we just use those four and use her, apply that 6 point average, like give that to every single appearance, she's probably gonna get like at least 24 or so points, which would
Yeah.
still probably be more than Wonder Woman.
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, like, hey,
Don't make me. Hey, Martine! Don't make me come back for season 3. Don't make me come back. I retired to help you out. Don't make me come back. It will be a showdown to remember.
but yeah,
Shit.
Yeah, and little known fact to the listeners, Catwoman is Latinx in terms of her actual background. So you're not necessarily pulling her away as much as you're just reinforcing what's already been proven.
yeah,
Boring.
like we only got like a few good ones in DC. You know, we might as well take one of them.
So wait, why didn't you pick her last season? I mean, she was like what, my 6th round pick?
Well, I think
Why didn't you take her?
Martine got involved a little bit later in the draft.
Yeah,
No. I'm asking Martine. Thank you, Mike.
no, like Michael said, I didn't really start getting involved until like week 5 or 6. Like
I think it was
my
4,
first
but
pick.
I don't know. I wasn't even counting or anything. I think it was
No,
4, but I wasn't counting or anything.
No, I didn't like get like involved with the picking until week 6 because that was Shazam.
Mm.
I will say that I every time like she's not like an early round pick,
Uh-huh.
it would be kind of surprising to me. Like just because of her like she's really adjacent to Batman.
Yeah.
So like it would be really like if you don't get Batman, she would be one of the first people that you would kind of think, oh yeah, maybe I can get her, and she still would have a good number of appearances.
And
And
as we know,
Like-
with Bat Privilege, she was able to take out 3 Flashes on her own.
Exactly.
So
I got a real question though. If Wonder Woman had still been there, you would have picked Wonder Woman over Catwoman. That's what I feel.
I mean, truth be told,
Yes, he would have. Look at his face. Look at Martin's face. He's like,
truth be told, they were both on my list.
Mhm.
Like both of them, Wonder Woman and Catwoman. So I was like, okay, well,
If only
know.
you hadn't taken Krakoa.
right.
Shut up for Black Panther. Shut up and picked her instead of Black Panther. Whatever.
Let me go ahead and read from the wiki. Selena Kyle, also known as Catwoman, is a jewel thief from Gotham City and one of Batman's major girlfriends. Currently portrayed as an orphan who learned to survive on Gotham streets, Selena took to thievery to survive. But determined to do it in style, she learned martial arts and trained extensively to perfect her skills in cat burglary. Her criminal activities are often tempered by a reluctant altruism, making her an inconsistent villain and occasional ally to Batman. She regularly eludes capture by the Dark Knight and maintains a complicated adversarial relationship with Batman that frequently turns flirtatious and occasionally legitimately romantic. However, new backstory remix.
Yeah. So the new Selena, now Calderon, she and her younger sister Magdalena, Maggie, they were from Cuba, and they were orphaned already, like in 1980. And there was this event. There was like this little thing that happened called the Mariel Boat Lift. So like for a few months in 1980, like about 100 or so thousand Cubans left because like it was basically like the government was just like, fine, you want to leave. So they just started allowing them to leave, but also sending some of the more undesirables as well to get rid of those.
I don't know if you all have seen
so
the movie
Selena
Scarface, but that was depicted in the movie Scarface. But go on, sorry.
Oh, so it wasn't original? Oh, okay, just double checking.
No, it was an actual.
It was a real thing that happened.
I'm using real life history.
That's exactly what I was saying. Not original.
Anyhow, go on, Martine.
Yeah, so believing that Cuba might not be the best place for her and her younger sister, she like sneaks them both onto the boat on a boat lift to try to blending in with another family to try to get over to the United States. And they got there, they became refugees. And again, another thing that actually happened in 1980, like there were riots in like Miami, like in that area. So she was just like, oh, this place isn't safe either. Let's keep going. And so they kept heading north, and then she relied purely on like pickpocketing, shoplifting, and all the other kind of like minor thefts to try to provide for her and her sister. And then and after like a few years go by because they finally get to Gotham, and very much like I said, like if it wasn't for Maggie saying let's stay put for a while, Selena like took one look around and was just like, oh fuck no.
Crap too.
Wait, so all of a sudden Selena's all snobby about Gotham? What the hell?
Well, how dangerous is this for two orphan girls in the streets?
I mean, fair point.
Like
I mean, but she hitchhiked her way from Miami all the way up to Gotham. That was probably
like she's not gonna stop somewhere else if there's like a murder like every few feet or something.
Like, bro, I could have just stayed back in Miami. What did I come up here?
I could have stayed in Cuba for this shit.
All right, fair point.
So they finally stuck around, and for whatever reason, like they both started getting attached to Gotham. So they both decided to stay put there. And then, she started kind of like homeschooling her little sister, trying to do the whole GED thing, because since they're living on the streets, like going to school will probably not be like the best thing because they won't be able to do as much as other students, like parent signatures or whatever. So she just started like also doing the GED to try to get education for both of them while still maintaining this whole shoplifting, petty, like pickpocketing, eventually graduating to full on like cat burglary, going into like houses or like businesses and just like stealing as much. It's a much more lucrative kind of business plan than
and my guess is like the Catwoman of the comics, she picks up fighting skills along the way.
Exactly, because whatever she can learn to make herself a better like cat burglar is she's gonna learn to because like she's got a little sister to look after. She's
Right.
not gonna take any chances, you know.
Gotcha.
So like this continues on for years and years, and eventually she becomes an adult, and she saved enough money to finally be able to afford a place for her and now her teenage sister, and she just continues to do it both to provide for them and also because she kind of likes it and she's
Sure.
kind of good at
I
it.
mean,
So
she's
it's
good
like,
at it. Yeah.
yeah, like so she's gonna keep on doing that, and then she does eventually run into a young Bruno when he's like on his first like
Right. Early
days,
missions. Mhm.
early mission, and he tries to stop her, fails, and he fails to do it, right? So, and she also like around the same time, coincidentally, like that he becomes Batman, like a much more official kind of costume. She decides to become like Catwoman because she's
Mhm.
a cat burglar and shit like that.
Right.
And then eventually, you know, they cross paths multiple times, like very much like their real life
Mhm.
comic book counterparts. And then they enter into a on again, off again relationship. And
And
she
you know,
feels,
this version is bilingual, you know, because they both
yeah,
speak Spanish, so there's a little bit of an extra flirtation there.
yeah,
I got it.
yeah.
I'm here
The
for it.
I do wonder if it's gonna when they fight, if it's gonna stay in English or if it's gonna go into Spanish.
I
You know?
mean, you control both delegation. I mean, you control both
I
characters
know.
in your
I think
delegation, so you can definitely script out a whole like two
telenovela
language,
scene.
yeah, whole telenovela scene. You might want to work that out.
Yeah. So
It
then,
better be a telenovela. That's what I'm talking about.
but yeah. So that's now our Selena.
Gotcha. And you know, and you came with a fan casting
Yeah.
that is infinitely better than the Polynesian fan casting. So let's go ahead and lay it on the people.
Yeah. So we decided to go with Eva Mendes.
Nice.
Some of you may be familiar with her from movies like
Who?
the first Ghost Rider movie, Hitch.
Who?
Eva
I'm
Have you
not.
ever seen
Mendes.
Hitch?
I'm not
Who?
as familiar with her as I would like to be. So.
Wasn't
There goes that black dick. trying to,
wasn't she in one of the
trying,
Fast movies? Or am I making that up?
She was in Too Fast, Too Furious. Yeah, she was in that one.
she was
She was
in
in Out of
Hitch.
Time. She was in
She was
Out
in
of
Hitch,
Time
yeah. So
with
she was
Denzel Washington.
the love interest of Will Smith in the movie Hitch.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was dating Ryan Gosling.
She's
yeah, and then
married
they
to
have
Ryan
two
Gosling.
daughters. They have two daughters. She kind of took a break from acting to help raise them, but a couple months ago she said now that they're older, she's gonna go back to acting.
Nice.
Yeah, 'cause she's
Yeah.
hot.
Yes, she is.
He is.
Yes, she
Yeah.
is. So
So crazy. I used to look like her. It was crazy.
cool, kid. Cool, Kia.
Cool story, right? Cool story, bro.
So
Let's
that's
see,
three.
you
That is
disagree?
3 for 3 for the Gotham world. The Gotham world's starting to get a very very distinct flavor to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, that's,
What
yeah,
flavor is
that's-
that, Mike?
Sazon.
yeah. Now we just need like I don't know, like
Sazon City.
Yeah, they have Harley, they have Catwoman. Yeah, you just need the Joker now.
or like a former Robin, you know, maybe like one that's a little hot headed.
Mm.
Exactly.
Or let's not. You hear that, people? You hear that?
So I'll go ahead and say the approval rating on this one. That was you guys 89.3% approval, with 75% strongly approve, 14.3 somewhat approve, 7.1% somewhat disapprove, and 3.6% strongly disapprove.
Yeah,
Straight up
Miles Teller
haters.
strongly disagree.
Straight up haters in the disapproval camp. How could you disapprove?
Oh,
I
I
know.
did. I hardcore disapproved.
Some of the
Hardcore.
pictures that I was able to find of Catwoman were just delectable. So, like, how could you disapprove? How could you disapprove of a Catwoman that hot?
I mean, how can you disapprove of comic book canon? Like it's in the canon. They didn't really have to add a whole heck of a lot to her actual story.
I mean, you're
It's
right,
really easy.
but
I'm
you know
hating it.
the power of white supremacy is very strong. You know,
Yes, it is. And
the desire to whitewash is just right there. And we'll return to that later. We'll return to that later. Um,
Sure.
Actually, I would have liked to see Catwoman
mhm.
Mhm.
black.
I
What?
mean, she came very close to being black. I was gonna
Oh
actually
yeah,
try to
I think you say that all the time, Randy. It was so close, but just didn't make it. And like, you know,
Uh,
if I had gotten a chance to cast her, I would have
but you
said
did.
that she's
yeah, I
probably
know. I
been
mean,
like,
I know.
you could have drafted Krakoa in the fifth round.
Yeah, actually, probably in the 12th, and it still would have been there.
I mean, you can't be like you didn't have the chance. You just be like,
we
I
live and
used
learn from
I
these things.
used the chance on Black Panther. I mean, in a way, I used the chance on Black Panther.
Well, you didn't really
We,
use it. Yeah, we know what happened there.
live
We don't
and
have to bring
learn
up
from
those
our
things.
mistakes. But had I taken the chance to draft her, I'll put it that way. I would have been like probably just find a nicer backstory for Patience Phillips.
Oh
Catwoman.
wow, that is a non-canon character. If we speaking of non-canon, let's talk
Oh
about
God.
the Native American delegation. Nothing is canon. The Native American delegation, they like to how do you say go their own way, right, Kia? The delegates.
Are you talking about my life? What?
The delegate, the delegate, is a man who goes his own way, and he
Yeah, they
yeah.
like to go their own way.
So they
Good for them.
chose it was a very complicated pick this time out, and this is where I have to sort of stand in my position as a commissioner. We here at the Racial Draft take the drafting very seriously, and it's really important that you draft a character that exists in the comics. But occasionally, someone chooses to draft a character that's so far askew from a character that appears in the comics that it has to be decanonized. And this is what happened here. Um, the sixth pick from the Native American delegation was Deathlock. Now, you might ask yourself, Deathlock, I've heard of Deathlock. Deathlock
And
is a.
you may ask yourself.
So I'll go ahead and jump in. I'll go ahead and jump in with the wiki. Deathlock is a fictional cyborg published by Marvel Comics. He first appeared in Astonishing Tales 25 in August 1974 and was created by Rich Buckler and Doug Mensch. At least 3 subsequent Marvel characters have used the Deathlock identity since then. Also, if I may say a little bit more about Deathlock, according to the Marvel wikis, there's Luther Manning, there's Deathlock Prime. There's Michael Collins. There's Henry Hayes. There's Mike Peterson from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's John Kelly. There's Jack Truman, Larry Young, Henry Hayes, uh, Deathlock from Alternate Universes, Deathlock Jason Todd from the Amalgam Universe, Mike Travers, Bucky Barnes, Emil Blonsky, Wade Wilson, uh, Steve Rogers, even Death Locket, Death Squawk, Death Locks, Death Borg, Starlock, John Garrett, and Deathlock Pool.
Death has been quite securely locked.
And yet, the Native American delegation drafted
Those
none
nuts.
of them. None of those characters were drafted by the Native American delegation. In fact, they drafted the concept of the Deathlock. Because another thing about Deathlock is that Deathlock is essentially a cyborg zombie, which means that anyone could potentially be a Deathlock. So that's the direction that they chose to go with.
Oh.
The anyone can be a Deathlock, and they went ahead with a non-canon Deathlock, who Kia.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack.
um, what's when we talk about points, Kia? What does a non-canon character score?
Oh, my favorite 0 points.
Yes.
And you may find yourself with 0 points.
Once in a lifetime pick. So I'm going to go ahead and read the backstory very quickly. Timothy stands against after transferring his mind to a new body, flies away in the form of the vision, only to leave behind a body which still has his soul and continues to live. After arising out of the operation table, he wanders with no recollection as to who he is. Shield finds the Mind Stone in Tim's makeshift lab. After sweeping the area, they leave, but find a man that resembles Dr. Timothy stands against, wandering the road. The organization puts him through a battery of tests, only to find that his mind is dead, but he still lives. They experiment on him, apply robotics and cybernetic weaponry on him, and inject his body with self-healing chemicals, toxic to a normal human, but he can't die. He becomes a general amongst the Deathlock regiment. But considering the body of Timothy as a soul, it must find its mind to be one. For he knows he will be nothing but a mindless zombie, continuously following orders. He's
And
he's one of the Deathlock, the mindless Deathlock army, the faceless,
and
personalityless.
this is what's going to happen to the Native American delegation. They may ask themselves, how do I work this? And at the end of the racial draft, they may ask themselves, well, how did I get here? Real close.
Yeah.
All I know is y'all are done cracking on me for my choice of Krakoa. I'm not gonna take it no more. 'Cause I
From-
made a better choice than that.
We can make a song for you too.
From one talking head to another, let's go ahead and talk about the approval rating, because far be it from me to go against the will of the people. However, the will of the people say it's a 50% approval rating. That is 22.2% strongly approve, 27.8% somewhat approve, 22.2% somewhat disapprove, and 27.8% strongly disapprove. Right in the middle, people are divided as to whether Deathlock is a good choice or not.
Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down.
But 50%
Same as it ever was, Kia.
50% of those people are dumb because I have not seen where Deathlock has shown up in the last few months. Like where does? Or matter of fact,
So
Where
there
has
was a
Krakoa
Deathlock.
showed up in the last few months.
No, that's not fair. Krakoa is in every X-Men book. But like,
no, but Krakoa is at least like you could argue to say that like different aspects of Krakoa have shown up. But when we last seen Deathlock though, like
That's so true.
so in the most recent storyline, the Iron Man 2020 storyline, there's a book called Force Works, and they
Right.
went to an island where people got randomly turned into Deathlocks. And the team got turned into Deathlocks briefly. So the concept of Deathlock is still going to be out there, but this particular Deathlock, non-canon Deathlock,
but isn't, I mean, like even if you were to kind of give the leeway to say that anybody who is recruited into the conceptual Deathlock program counts, how reliable is the appearance of Deathlock at all? That's my point. So it's like
probably like once a year, probably.
But like you get like even if he does show up, like we have no possible way of charting that out because he does not get any like, oh look, there's a title that is like starring Deathlock. Like we haven't had Deathlock really be relevant in a while, and I hate this. Like, I mean, I don't hate it because it is kind of fun, but
No, I mean, I think that no. So I know to the point of contention. I think a couple years back, there was an X-Force book that starred one of the Deathlocks, but again, one of the Deathlocks, as opposed to just a Deathlock concept.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Even if you wanted to give the leeway to say, okay, anything that is Deathlock counts as points for this.
Which I definitely don't want to do, but go on.
But yeah, you have no way of really predicting that. Like we haven't even had any indication that Deathlock is really going to play a wider, relevant role anywhere to be like, oh yeah, I could potentially see him showing up again. So
I agree.
So, in other words, what in layman's terms, Randy is saying that the black delegation understands what the racial draft is all about, and yet the Native American team still does not.
Well, I mean, I do appreciate the fact that he's going so much into the story, but I do hope that he's considering more than just the
No, he's
value of.
going his own way.
He
Yeah, that's
is definitely going his own way. Speaking of not going your own way, but going a way that's a little controversial, this brings us to the white delegation. Um,
White
I
is
think
right. White
I
is
think
right.
all of us have a stake in what happened over the course of the last week. The crime that was committed
Yeah,
by
the
the white
Latinx team
white delegation.
could have stopped this, but they didn't.
Um, as Black people, as Latinx people, as mixed race people, we all saw our beloved Miles Morales get scooped up by the white delegation,
colonized.
colonized, and whitewashed. And
Yeah, actually, Martine, why did you pick Catwoman over Miles Morales?
Because Miles is only showing up in 2 things, and Catwoman's showing up in 4.
Oh, but you didn't feel as though that you should save Miles Morales.
It's a little anti-black. Just saying.
I mean, to defend
You
Martine,
don't think you could have drafted Miles Morales instead of Nightwing? Krakoa?
Oh, he deflects and throws it on the black
No,
team. The
hold
black
on.
delegation takes the L once
Oh.
again.
First of all, when I throw people under the bus, it is a one-way affair. This is not true.
Don't try that shit with me, man.
he's
I
got
love it.
he's got a video game, he's got a movie that we all love, Into the Spider-Verse, and it was all besmirched by the white delegation. But let me go ahead and read the wiki page. Gifted with powers from a spider bite, much like the original Spider-Man of the Ultimate Universe, and driven by the death of Spider-Man and Peter's legacy, Miles Morales suits up as the Ultimate Spider-Man. Now living in the same universe as Prime Marvel Universe's Spider-Man, he fights the good fight as Spider-Man and as a founding member of the Champions. Oh, Miles. Oh, Miles. But now you're
Now
white.
he's miles away.
Miles away. So the people spoke. Oh, the people spoke. They did speak. An approval rating of 23.5%,
That's still too high.
including
Yeah.
a strongly disapprove of 64.7%. Yeah, 8.8% of the population are racist because they strongly approve of this.
All the
Yeah.
white people.
Yeah, this is
14.7 somewhat approve, so they're somewhat racist. 11.8% of people are like, I mean, that's a little too far. So they somewhat disapproved. And 64.7% are decent people who understand the injustice that was done. And like we had Wakanda Gate last year, but last season. This is Morales Gate, and the white delegation is gonna have to answer for it. So
and this would be the week that he did not show up on the show.
of course, we got our superpowers, and he knew that the only way he can counter our superpowers was to take away one of our superpowered people. Speaking of which, happy Wakwanza.
Happy with Kwanzaa.
Wakwanza forever. But yeah, and then of course Sean decided, why not do a backstory for Miles Morales? Why Miles? Why Miles?
Sure.
That's what I'm
Guys
talking
are
about.
you guys waiting for it? Ready for it?
Double
No.
down.
Miles Morales was born into a powerful yet loving family. His mother, Rhea Morales, was a prominent politician who came from old Italian money. Old Italian.
Well, actually, I kind of love that. Italians still have a hint of black in them. I'm just saying.
I mean, he could have at least done I mean, I kind of feel. Just go ahead, continue. Never mind.
His father, Jefferson, was a police captain. Their stories intertwined long before Miles was born, with Jefferson becoming corrupted by Rhea's family and influence. He now functions as her eyes and ears in the force, protecting her investments from within a corrupt institution. Miles only saw the best in his parents, a mother who lifted a community, but only the right members of it, and a father who protected it. As he grew older, he became more critical of the systems of law they worked in. This criticism was fostered by his uncle Aaron, who was pushed out of the family when he tried to open Miles' eyes to who his parents really were. After discovering his powers and bolstered by his father's agitated reports of figures like the Prowler, Miles decided to take up the mantle of Spider-Man to uplift and protect his community, like his parents before him. He keeps his secret close to the vest, afraid of his father's disdain for superheroes and his mother's own anti-vigilante political stances. Will Miles be able to pull his parents towards the light, or will he be corrupted alongside them? Now,
I'm so sad.
now you may ask yourself, you know what main name is missing from this backstory? Peter Parker. Because what's more white than not denying the non-white person that was the hero before you? He appropriated the Spider-Man persona.
Like it was the first.
Like he was the first.
I'm so sad. I really am.
White Miles, and he provided a fan cast. David Henry from the Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh, that.
The Grand Wizards of Waverly Place. What? No.
So good.
So yeah, full whitewash.
Oh, that is pain.
Yeah.
That is.
I'll never watch Into Spider-Verse the same way. That scene that brings us all to tears when he's jumping off the building. It's a white guy now.
And they didn't remove
White's up
the
danger.
fact that his
White.
father is a police officer. Like, you could have at least been like, okay, let's kind of like redo, let's kind of circumvent that. No, yeah, just keep that in there.
No. He
Okay.
he went all in on the police officer. He's like, I get it. My dad's a cop. Brooklyn, a white Italian Brooklyn cop. So I get it. He probably
For a lot of people.
thinks that he probably calls Miles the N-word because he doesn't know that he's white under there. There you go.
I'm so sad.
There you have it. And he still wears the J's because of course he does. Of course he does.
Of course.
As to be expected, there was a lot of consternation from the black delegation, from black people on Twitter. Just, oh, Martine, what did your gift say? Que la chingada?
Yeah, it's what the fuck.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
and then Carlos said like what did he say? He like, you monster.
Yeah. I had to, I had to game recognize game, so I had to show like some of the Jersey Shore guys with their gym tan laundry, giving the fist pump, because now Miles is one of their own.
I honestly like the pick. I really do.
I mean, it's delightfully evil, is what it is.
Yeah, I love it. I freaking love it. Stir the pot all day.
Yeah, it just goes to show that
Sean's my person. Sean's my person.
it just goes to show that when people want to, when they want to say like so you want to race bend one of our white characters. We'll see how you like it when we whitewash one of your beloved characters. It doesn't feel so good. I guess it doesn't. But that just means that you guys have to go a little harder with your race bending to make up for the loss of Miles. Because it hurts.
Oh, I
It really
shall.
hurts.
I shall.
All right.
Oh yeah, spite mode. Full spite mode right now.
What, really? Oh, I can't wait for round 4 to see what the spite mode is.
But that brings us to the eighth pick in the round by the Jewish delegation. Who didn't really. I don't think they had a response to. No, I probably just missed their response to the Miles Morales pick. I'm sure that they were against it as well. Um, so they chose Barbara Gordon.
Hmm.
Barbara
Didn't they
Gordon.
do that last season?
No, that was the white delegation who chose Barbara Gordon.
Oh, I think they said they wanted to, but then the white team got it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll go ahead. This one's got a little bit longer of a backstory in Wikipedia. Um, Barbara Babs Gordon is a fictional character appearing in comic books published by DC Comics and related media, created by Gardner Fox and Carmen Infantino from 1967 to 1988. She was a superheroine Batgirl. From 1989 to November 2011, she had been known as Oracle. In Batgirl Volume 1, Volume 4, Number 1, she recovered from injuries and hit the streets as Batgirl once again. Introduced as the daughter of Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon, Barbara Gordon made her first comic book appearance in a story published in Detective Comics 359 entitled The Million Dollar Debut of Batgirl. As Batgirl, Barbara Gordon has been described as one of the most popular characters to ever appear during the Silver Age of comic books, and is regarded as a pop culture icon due to her appearances in the Batman television series of the late 1960s and continued media exposure. The Barbara Gordon version of Batgirl has been adapted into various media relating to the Batman franchise, including merchandise, television, and animation. During the early 1970s, the character was also used as an advocate for women's rights. Following the editorial retirement of the character's Batgirl persona in 1988, Alan Moore's graphic novel Batman the Killing Joke depicts the Joker shooting Gordon through the spinal cord in her civilian identity and leaving her a paraplegic. Although Gordon would no longer resume her role as Batgirl in subsequent stories, editor Kim Yale and writer John Ostrander soon established the character as a computer expert and an information broker codenamed Oracle, providing intelligence and computer hacking services to assist other superheroes. The character first appeared as Oracle in Suicide Squad 23 in January 1989. So, as you can see, Batgirl is an extremely popular character, and Barbara Gordon is an extremely popular character, both as Batgirl and as Oracle, and she's meant a lot to a lot of people. Um, believe there were rumors that she had a movie that they were working on, but we don't know where that's headed.
Mm.
Um, you know, I do believe that she's meant to co-star in the Dick Grayson, so she's going to be alongside Black Dick. Um,
In the Nightwing series, yeah,
and then yeah, the Nightwing series.
yeah.
Um, she's probably going to play. Is this so? The Batgirls book, is that only for Future State, or is that meant to last beyond Future State?
I think it's only Future State because there's no Batgirl
Yeah.
book in March.
Okay.
I mean, it could start up again in April, but for March at least, there's no sign of Batgirl solo book
Okay.
or anything.
And my guess would be in Detective Comics. She'll probably play a role in that too, because that tends to be more of a Bat Family style book.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so Barbara Gordon's out there. She's strong player. I think she was a pretty high. I think Sean said in the Bat Family, she's one of the highest scorers. So good
Hmm.
good pick for the Jewish delegation.
Yeah.
Let's see what the approval rating from the people are. 91.7%. That is 50% strongly approve, 41.7% somewhat approve, 0% somewhat disapprove, and 8.3 strongly disapprove. How could you strongly disapprove of Jewish Batgirl? Anti-Semitism.
Easy.
Anti-Semitism.
Say
Exactly.
easy.
I did say easy, Martine. I ain't scared.
And
I like it though.
yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't.
okay. What are your thoughts, Kia?
I mean, I think they could do better.
I mean, perhaps. But Batgirl's a strong pick. I think she'll be one of the top
No.
scorers in the Jewish
No,
delegation.
you can't say perhaps and then say, oh, but it's a strong pick. That's like saying they either can do better or they can't.
No, you can be a
Why
strong
would
pick
you
and
suggest
also can
Kia?
do better.
No.
Like Spider-Man was a strong
the
pick,
other.
but Wonder Woman
Black
would have been a
and
better
black.
pick.
Debatable.
You said debatable. And and that brings us to the last pick of round 3, which was selected via poll. Let me break down the poll results. First, the poll choices were Daredevil, Black Canary, Hank Pym, and Jean Grey. And the
Let me
breakdown,
see my psychic powers. Okay, no.
12.5% for Hank Pym, so he did not win. 25% for Black Canary, she did not win. 28.1% for my choice, Jean Grey. But the winner with 34.4% of the vote, Matt Murdock, South Asian
Yep.
Daredevil, was the official 9th pick of the round. I'll go ahead and read from the wiki for Daredevil. Wiki. Um, when young Matt Murdock saved a blind pedestrian from a crashing truck, a radioactive isotope. Oops, sorry guys. Computer glitch. A radioactive isotope spilled in from the vehicle. The substance blinded Matt, but he soon found that his other senses were amplified to superhuman levels. He also manifested a radar sense that allowed him to visualize his surroundings without relying on sight. As he grew up, Matt received training from the Ninja Master Stick. He later earned a law degree and opened an office with his friend Foggy Nelson, defending those unjustly accused of crimes. By night, he protects his home neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen from criminals and supervillains. Despite living through more personal tragedies than any man should be able to endure, Matt retains an optimistic, heroic outlook on life. Daredevil?
Optimistic?
I mean, sort of.
Persistently, stubbornly existing. I don't really feel
Do you
like.
think Daredevil ever had stuff with Echo?
Yeah, Daredevil and Echo, they had a little thing, I think, briefly.
Yeah.
After Echo tried to kill him.
That he has kind of a thing for that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah.
And then he killed her with his.
he gave her the Billy Club. But you know, he's got a reputation. But yeah, South Asian Daredevil. We have not gotten a backstory from Arjun, and you know we're disappointed about that. But hopefully the backstory will come.
Mhm.
The people, the people gave it a 90% approval rating, 60% strongly approve, 30% somewhat disapprove, and 10% 30% somewhat approve, and 10% somewhat disapprove, and 0% strongly disapprove. So most
What?
people,
Oh, I didn't vote on that one.
yeah. So people are a fan of Daredevil, South Asian.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the round. That's the third round. Obviously, there is a certain amount of bias involved, and I'm not going to, you know, putting aside you guys' picks. What were some of your favorite picks of the round?
Spider-Man, Iron Man, Nightwing.
Okay.
Hmm.
What about you, Randy?
Well, I feel like Wonder Woman is, I couldn't have really
Oh
blamed
yeah,
them
and
for
Wonder
two
Woman. Sure.
great things.
Get on your knees.
And then Catwoman, of course, I thought was a really good fit. And
Smells a little fishy here.
and Deathlock just kind of gave me a good laugh. So
Wow.
I kind of favored that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Wonder Woman was one of my faves. I really liked Peter Parker for the Asian delegation. I really liked Iron Man for the Polynesian delegation, and yeah, Catwoman, of course. You know, I'm still a little skeptical of Black Dick, but you know, it'll grow on me, I'm sure.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Oh, well, my favorite was.
What was your favorite, Kia?
Miles Morales.
Mm. Full villain. I see you're going full villain, Q.
Miles Morales. That was amazing.
Italian Miles.
Yeah, I love me some Italians. What's up?
Benson
Single over here.
Bensonhurst Spider-Man. What you doing in the neighborhood, eh?
Mhm.
I got it. I feel you.
Not
Um,
like you feel that black dick though.
I mean, don't make me choose. Don't make me choose. We have a couple of news stories. Not a lot. Not a lot. Um, I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the rumors based on character breakdowns from the Green Lantern series. It
Oh, let's
appears,
not. That's like Martine's favorite thing to talk
I
about.
know, it
No.
appears that Simon Biles and Jessica Cruz will be appearing on the Green Lantern show.
hmm
Yeah, like we've known this.
No, I think it was still it was we weren't sure about it. Here's the character breakdowns. Jessica Cruz, protecting the galaxy is hard enough. It's even tougher when you're the type of person who's uncomfortable leaving the apartment. Life forced Jessica to become self-reliant at a young age. She worked her way through school while taking care of her younger sister. She's bright, determined. Looking at her, you'd never know the struggle going on inside. Jessica lives with sometimes crippling anxiety disorder. She's been fighting fear longer than any of our other lanterns. And Simon Baz. For as long as he can remember, Simon's loved the Green Lanterns. Using his innate charm and gift of gab, he works in Detroit as a vendor. However, business hasn't been good lately. In the wake of 9/11, America has grown distrustful of young Middle Eastern men. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna get the pairing from I don't remember what volume of the Green Lantern run they got together, but it's good to know that at least based on casting, this is the direction they're going to be heading with the kind of
It was
multi. What'd you
it
say?
was the one. No, I was saying it was the one just prior to this one, was it not? Like it was. I think it was the one just before this rebirth run.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
think. Don't quote me on that, but
That was that DCU or was that another one of their relaunches?
it was before DCU. It was like I think at the very hind end of New 52. I think.
Yeah,
Okay, so they didn't have a name for that run. It was just
Green
less new,
Lanterns.
less new 52.
Less new 52. Not as new.
Not quite that new.
Yeah.
Um, the other bit of news is very brief. Oh, sorry. The other bit of the other bit of news involves Batwoman. They revealed a synopsis to the new season. They also have a poster, but posters aren't good for a podcast, so I can't. We can't. I can't describe it to you. However, this is a synopsis for season 2 of Batwoman. In season 2 of Batwoman, when Ryan Wilder, Javicia, is it Javicia or Javicia?
I hope it's Javicia.
Javicia. Leslie first discovers Kate Kane's batsuit. She has no idea how drastically her life is about to change. A sassy, smart lesbian with a difficult past, Ryan sees the suit as her chance to finally be powerful and no longer a victim as she survives in the rough streets of the city. While Ryan grows rogue in the shadows, Gotham grapples with their missing hero, believing Batwoman has fled the city after a public standoff with Commander Jacob Kane, Doug Ray Scott, and the Crows. Or is it DeGray? DeGray Scott and the Crows. But Kate Kane's disappearance hits hardest at home where Jacob, Sophie, Megan Tandy, Luke, Cameron Johnson, Mary, Nicole Kang, and even Alice, Rachel Scarson, each struggle with the devastating news in their own way. Meanwhile, the False Face Society tightens its grip on Gotham, distributing a perilous new drug known as snakebite. Bruce Wayne, Warren Christie, finds his way home to wreak havoc. Sophia, Shivani Gahi, surfaces with plans for revenge, and a new set of villains descends on the city. It's not long before Ryan realizes how much the symbol on the suit means to Gotham, launching her on a personal journey that takes her from fledgling substitute to confident caped crusader, from living in her van with her plant to chasing villains in the Batmobile. Ryan Wilder becomes a very different Batwoman than Kate Kane, her own Batwoman, but with the same understanding of what it means to be a hero. So, it's a CW, so it's gonna have its CW isms. I hope that the show is gonna be fun. Um, it still remains to be seen. We did, like I said before, they did introduce Ryan Wilder. Ryan Leslie's a musician. He's pretty good. Um, they did introduce Ryan Wilder in the comics a couple weeks back. So who knows if they'll give her a comic persona of her own, and whether in subsequent seasons we'll be considering drafting her. But Martine, do you plan on watching the Batwoman show?
Yeah, I plan on watching it because yeah, I'm gonna see it as like it's almost like a new show, and I give new shows like at least 1 or 2 seasons to like really like cook me in because I know sometimes shows the first season's a little off, and I
Right.
don't really hit the stride until the second season. So I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. Like I always give shows a shot, you know. I'm
Gotcha.
definitely gonna
Wow.
watch it.
What about you, Kia?
It's a CW. I mean, I might do that on an insomnia night, after, season one is fully over. I
Gotcha.
might binge it, but it's not something I'm going to stop my life for.
Right. And I think it's still going to be exclusive to Disney. I mean, sorry, exclusive to HBO Max. Um, so
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, because that's exactly where I'll watch it. Wink, wink.
what about you, Randy? What do you? I won't ask you where you plan to watch Batwoman, but I will ask you if you plan on watching Batwoman.
On Disney Plus, of course.
Just
No, but no, but I mean, I plan to watch Batwoman because she's a brand new. I've kind of been on my little tear recently about them bringing in new blank slate characters, to kind of so that people don't really have too many expectations of them and kind of don't really have that fan backlash of like, oh, that's not like how she was in the comics. Okay,
Mhm.
well, you this new blank slate character. We get to take her for who she is on the show, and I hope that they don't waste the opportunity. I'm not, again, as everybody said, it's the CW, but I hope that they build her up to be a character that we can really root for.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna definitely give it a try.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I mean, whether I watch it from week to week remains to be seen. Although I may have to because of Fantasy Comics League or whatever scoring systems. If the seasons, if some character from the show gets drafted, but
Hmm.
you know, that's another point that I wanted to mention. The new season begins in January 17th, so we're just a few weeks away.
Yep.
Mm. What are you guys going to do January 23rd?
You know, not much. We'll probably just eat popcorn because
Anything else?
I mean,
nothing
there's
nothing major
special about
happened.
that day.
Yeah,
So
nothing. Yeah, I can't think of anything that's important about January 23rd. So it'd just be another day.
F you both. F you both.
I mean, it's three. It'll be 3 days into my celebration that Trump is out of office. That's what it will be.
I mean, I suppose we could celebrate the Kiaversary, but
The anniversary of my birth. I mean, hello.
yeah. All right. Well,
The day I came to you all from the higher power. You're welcome. You guys will all see 2021. I'm coming. There's been an awakening. Thank you, the junction of like Mars and Venus or whatever. I got my superpowers. I don't know about y'all.
and our last news story, we won't talk very long about it because, not everyone has seen the movie, but Wonder Woman won the box office with 16.7 million.
There is no box office anymore.
There's a little
What the
tiny
box
there's a
office
little
is the
tiny
only
box
thing.
office.
Everybody was just like a new movie, please, Lord. I've watched everything during 2020 because I've been home.
There's a
There's a home box office, and it's Max version of the home box office. So
I bet you.
there were
I bet you Wonder Woman wouldn't have won if something else came out the same day.
There were 2,150 cinemas in the U.S. open on December 25th, and Wonder
We're
Woman.
not scared of Rona.
They're not scared of Rona. So 16.7 million domestically, including now globally, 85 million. The movie has made, and they have
That's
already
cheating.
and they
I
have
could have put a
already
documentary about myself out, and it would have done the same exact shit. Just saying.
well, Warner Brothers has already said that it's lighted and fast tracking Wonder Woman 3, and they're bringing back Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman 3. So look forward to in a couple years we'll be getting another Wonder Woman, and we won't say whether that's good news or bad news.
I just
Mary,
want to be king.
we wish for good things.
We wish that wouldn't happen. Oh, I don't have the penis stone.
I
But
wish for Nubia in the Wonder Woman third movie. I
but
wish that they would expand upon those Amazons.
okay,
Hey,
so
oh, we can't talk about it.
yeah, we can't talk about it. Um,
Damn it, Randy. Get me all riled up for no reason.
so what do we wish for in the third round of the racial draft?
You mean the fourth round?
Fourth
Oh, yes, the
round.
fourth round. Thank you, Kia.
I wish the host would actually know the round.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Oh.
Uh,
I wish that Martine would not show up for the fourth round, and he will pick somebody that honestly nobody cares about.
So these are all bad wishes. This is what we're gonna go for? Martine,
Yeah,
what do you
because
wish for?
That's what I learned from the movie.
Oh my god.
I wish to get another spectacular Native American delegation picture. You know, like they're going full story, and on some level I gotta respect that. But yeah, I want to see like another good, just real amazing, spectacular pick. I don't know.
What
I
about
just
you,
hope-
Randy? What do you wish for?
I wish that I could like get a pick that makes everybody like green with envy that I chose that person. Like they have to just like cross off their list. Like, dang, I really wanted that person.
You might
Okay.
need to pray alongside the wishing.
Oh
So-
gosh.
I have some thoughts as to who that pick might be, but we shall see.
I know Dazzler.
Fortunately, I was not there for the last round of choices, so I can't be held responsible for choosing Dazzler. So
Wasn't Dazzler
hopefully
like their
this
first
time
pick?
I
Domino was the first pick.
Yeah,
Dazzler,
they
I
got
think, was
Domino,
their
and then they
second.
got Dazzler later on.
yeah.
So I don't
Later
know
on,
why
as in
that
round 2.
Yeah.
Well, I wish that everybody's picks are awesome and that everybody's talking about them and are interested in their backstories and there's a whole bunch of discussion around them and it leads to people listening to the podcast next week because they're just so interested in finding out how these characters interplay with one another. That's what I wish for. I wish
Oh, you
for
wish for listeners. Okay, cool.
yes I do. You, the listener, tell your friends.
Yeah. I even shared this podcast with my family members, knowing I say crazy shit on here.
See, you too can share this podcast with your family members so you can hear Kia say crazy shit.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I can guarantee.
And also, if you find me on Twitter and DM me, give me some ideas on what crazy things to say. I'll push all boundaries.
And I can
Thank you.
guarantee that there will be at least 50% less black dick jokes next week. I can.
You can't guarantee that. You absolutely cannot guarantee that.
Yeah.
Okay, 10% less black dick jokes.
You never know.
Fair
They could
point.
go their own way.
Don't make promises you can't deliver on. I will be still on the show, so you can't guarantee that.
Fair enough. You heard it. You heard it from the Black D himself. The Black D legation.
Oh gosh, I cannot.
But that concludes our business for the week. This week in the racial draft. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
So let's start with Randy.
A pox on Sean's house for taking miles from us. And that's it.
Martine?
Seconded.
Kia?
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Oh man. Well, I didn't realize that this was going to be a Talking Heads show, but I appreciate it, and you know, we'll make sure that we stick with certain themes in subsequent episodes. But I don't, listen. If this is your first show, I apologize. But hopefully you go back through the shows, and there are episodes that really scratch you where your itch. I urge you to become a fan of the show, to follow us on Twitter at Racial Draft Pod, follow us on Facebook at Racial Draft, follow us at on Instagram at racial.draft, and support our Patreon and our soon-to-be OnlyFans, where we will give you all the black dick jokes that you can handle. Maybe a little bit more than you can handle, if you know what I'm saying.
Days go by.
And you can get the special outtakes of Kia singing Talking Heads, and we bring the hilarity from week in, week out. We want to wish you all happy holidays. When we come back, it'll be a brand new year. 2020 will be behind us. We'll be in 2021. Happy Wakwanza, everyone. Wakwanza forever. And until next time, all things are possible.
1, 2.